Welcome to Doomsday T on DC this week, and I'm going to start off with the HBO Watchmen series. I got to see a little teaser this week. Irons as Amadeus, all that looks great. Like I said, I think this is a world after what we saw in the movie and in the comic book, what we read in Alan Moore's comic book. Like I said, I was a little more sold on it, what I saw this week than I was before. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's good. And staying in that type vein with those type shows. Krypton, I know I've been on it the last couple of weeks because the show is phenomenal. And it looks like on season 2, Brainiac on season 1 is out of this world. Just to finally get any kind of Brainiac, like a live action Brainiac, is awesome. And he's wonderful. He's phenomenal. Looks great. Everybody they've done on this series looks good. And I don't know why I'm surprised. Sci-Fi does pretty good. The channel wouldn't be around for as long as it has if it didn't offer some entertainment for people. But the Krypton show, honestly was right up their alley. Season 2, you're going to have Lobo. There's pictures of him out there. He looks pretty good. But the daggone Doomsday, that I guess that was this week that they released pictures of. Holy moly. He looks great. And I saw I don't know if it was like a making of, or there was some pictures and stuff, and it was showing if he's moving and if he's moving or jumping, doing different things, I guess it's CGI. And if he's standing still, they've got this huge statue they've made of him, or whatever, this puppet that they've made of him. And like I said, man, it's comic book accurate. And all these people on Krypton is comic book accurate. Except, I guess Adam Strange, have the fin helmet and and his little, anyway, he don't look like Adam Strange, but anyway, it's cool he's on the show. So yeah, Krypton, don't sleep on it. I know I did for a little bit, and I'm all over it now. I love it. Krypton is just wonderful. Once again, this week on Doom Patrol, it was great. Don't sleep on Doom Patrol. This was like Flex Man or whatever. Great episode. Don't get, the ending, the last two scenes of this is great, but the last scene, oh boy. These last 2 episodes are going to knock our socks off. I got a feeling we've really built up to something here. And I don't know which way it's going to go, because this show's surprising enough. Watch Doom Patrol. If you're not watching it, catch up. If you think it's boring, just keep... I don't know. What can I tell you? I love it. Give it a shot. In other DC TV news, Ruby Rose... her Batwoman has got picked up, I guess, for a full season on CW. They've ordered episodes, so hooray for them. I'm excited for this, man. Getting a Batwoman on CW. Looking forward to it. It's a smart move. You're getting a Bat character on TV. That's not the untouchable Batman, whatever, But we're getting Batwoman, and I couldn't be happier, I hope her sexuality is not... I know it's going to be a main point, and I understand it, and that's fine, but don't just kill us with it. It is what it is. And, Montoya, hopefully I guess she's on the show, surely. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Great job. I'm glad CW has picked it up. And one thing I wanted to mention is DC, I guess they're going to put out another run of these kind of tag cartoons of their characters on shows that they release, like animated shows or whatever. Like on the Hush animated cartoon that's coming out. Was that redundant? Anyway, they're going to tag, I guess it's Sergeant Rock is the first one. Um, that's brilliant. You know, the first time they did it, they used Spectre and Green Arrow. And didn't they do a thing with Shazam and Black Adams? I don't know. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I loved the way they did Green Arrow on that. To me, was really cool. Kind of made him a little more futuristic or something. Anyway, it was cool. Green Arrow, awesome. My favorite liberal. Hopefully, we'll see him on the big screen one day. We got to him and Black Canary. We got to see it. Got to have him on the big screen. Love the Arrow show. It has its ups and downs, but I mean, especially those first few seasons, or they're all good seasons, but just cool to having a Green Arrow show on TV. Man, it was great. Can't wait for these last 10 episodes. That will definitely pull me back in to see the ending and the conclusion of all of this. So anyway, looking forward to these tags. I can't remember what some of the other ones were. I think Death is one, and actually I think Adam Strange is one. So that's going to be cool. I love those, and now they're using some people that's a little more obscure. They need to. That's fine. Introduce some of these people out there. You never know who's going to catch on, and and give it to us in the movies. And I think they are. DC, it seems like I said before, they're sneaking in all these ensemble type movies, and that's fine. I'll take it. Whatever. So let's go ahead and move on to the actual DC Extended Universe news, and it seems like every week I'm starting off with casting for Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and I'm happy to do that for you. I'm always happy to learn. And this week, the first one, right off the bat, Michael Rooker as King Shark. I mean, I couldn't have. And I didn't think of him. That's not something I should have, especially with Gunn and connections with Gunn. But Rooker as King Shark, you couldn't have picked anybody anywhere to be King Shark. That is a brilliant casting decision. The other thing that people are speculating, the Idris Elba, that he is possibly Deathstroke. A rumor came out this week that they're looking for casting for him a daughter. Now they did, they've cut out the of him, the possibility, I guess, of him being Deadshot, which has a daughter, so I guess he's definitely not gonna be him. And people have jumped on this Deathstroke thing. Now, you do that, and what happens to Mangini or whatever his name is, and which I don't care. Whatever. I mean, give me Deathstroke. I don't care. But we'll see. He could be some. There's a couple of other characters that people have thrown out there that he could be. So, but it's interesting but they apparently, like I said, they're casting looking for a young female to play his daughter in the Suicide Squad. So interesting news. But once again, Rooker as King Shark. I couldn't have picked it. I could not have picked it any better. This is going to be fun, man, because I could see Rooker being like Ben Grimm or something. I mean, not to switch universes on you, but just his attitude and the way his delivery is and who he is, and hopefully they give him some good lines as King Shark, and Gunn, of course, surely will. So that excites me. There's been some good casting. So the Suicide Squad's shaping up, man. I can't wait. It's going to be a very cool movie. I got a good feeling about it. It's going to be very cool. So keep it up, Gunn. You got me fired up, brother. Okay, also in DC Extended Universe news, no Birds of Prey news. I guess at this point they've wrapped and they've had their party, and they're in the editing room. I would assume there's not a lot of CGI or anything on this. Once we get into maybe Poison Ivy and stuff, and Gotham Sirens or Catwoman, we'll see where all this goes. But anyway, Something I wanted to cover, and it kind of ties in, I guess, with the Rorschach and the HBO thing. Kevin Smith mentioned on his last Fat Man Beyond podcast that he actually had been approached by DC and asked if he had an opportunity to direct a DC movie. Who would you pick? Who would you want to be? And he picked The Question, and I've heard him say that over and over on different interviews and on his podcasts and stuff, that he would love to see a Question movie, and he's got it. He's got it right. He always talks about how scary it would be, even scarier than a bat, a man dressed as a bat, but this guy that has no face, coming at you. Anyway, I could see him doing that, man, but he got stonewalled because of Rorschach being owned by another comic company. It was basically legal reasons, or we could have had the Question movie with Kevin Smith, writing and directing it. And like I said, man, DC ought to give Kevin a shot at somebody. Give Kevin a shot at Green Arrow. He brought Green Arrow back to us. He's already wrote a brilliant series of Green Arrow books. And you all didn't even give him a shot at a CW show? I mean, this guy lives and breathes comic books. And I saw a guy dissing him on YouTube, and it had this whole freaking thing, and I guess I watched it, so I gave this guy a view, but he was trying to say that, like, he don't really like DC, and he's in the pocket of Marvel, and he tried to give these reasons or whatever why, which were all very disputable and could be easily argued with different facts about other things that Kevin said. But the one thing that I keep thinking about whenever the guy's saying all this crap about Kevin Smith is, I'm like, he named his daughter Harley Quinn, and you're trying to tell me that the guy's not in the bag for DC? What? I mean, okay, all right. Anyway, give DC, give him a shot, and give him a shot at Green Arrow. He's already wrote you a script for that, basically. He has wrote you a story that sold well for you. And, I love it whenever I bring up something that I haven't thought about that I can cover in Comic Book Corner. Now, I'm probably not going to jump off the rails like I have before in other episodes and jump into the Kevin Smith Green Arrow series, but I own it. I've read it. I love it. It's brilliant. It's great. So look for me to cover that maybe next week if I remember, but I definitely will cover the Kevin Smith Green Arrow comic book on this show. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I love that story that he told about that and how there was a possibility, but the weirdness of of Rorschach, that I guess the Question or something was about another company. There was something, I wish I could remember what the deal was, but it had to do with somebody being owned by another comic book company, and there was a mix there or something that would be a conflict, and they were worried about a lawsuit. But I mean, come on, straighten that out. Let him do the Question, and if you don't let him do the Question, definitely let him do Green Arrow. Come on, that's a no-brainer for me. If you're going to give Kevin Smith a shot at a comic book movie directing it, it's Green Arrow. He's already done it. Okay, enough of that. It just fires me up. So that's it for DC Extended Universe news this week. I don't want to carry on. I'm going to cover on Comic Corner this week. I'm going to cover, like we talked about last week. We covered the Wade Ross Kingdom Come series that everybody loves and is a great series. But my pick on some of the Ross stuff that he's done is the Justice books that ran as a bi-monthly from August of 2005 to I think June of 2007. So I guess it was like a 12-part or 12-issue, set of stories. right off the bat, one of the first things I love about the Justice comic is everybody is the artwork, the drawings are all old school, classic outfits, uniforms, whatever. The villains all in classic villain attire. The heroes all in classic hero attire. They bring the Metal Men into this, and Doc, and he restores Red Tornado, which makes sense. But I don't want to pick this book apart because it's really detailed, and if you love it's basically the Justice League versus the Legion of Doom. It's the classic DC. It's just so, everything about it is perfect and classic. He couldn't have wrote a better JLA versus Legion of Doom, LOD. You couldn't have wrote a better book. And basically, the story is like some of the super villains are having bad dreams about the world coming to an end, and the Justice League couldn't stop it. So they're like, well, what? The Justice League couldn't stop the world from ending? So they devise a plan to take out the Justice League so they can save the world on their terms. If they want to be ruthless or whatever they want to do, they can save the world. I mean, are you not sold already? This is great. And then how they go about it at first, or some of the first things they do, is like Poison Ivy, Toyman, and Scarecrow, Captain Cold, and Ivy. They set out to stop hunger, and they do. And like disabilities, people with disabilities, fix those or whatever, help these people, whatever. And they do. Which makes sense, like Toyman, of course, being involved in that, and then like Ivy with the hunger. And even Scarecrow, so they kind of sway public opinion, at this point against the JLA. So it's not only just a fighting thing, but it's mind, it's mind games also. But like I said, I don't want to give away so much detail. I probably shouldn't have told you that. I don't know. Because I want y'all to buy these books and read them. So I don't mean to spoil everything, and I don't want to do that. But this is a fun, cool book that has a lot of ins and outs, and involves a lot of characters that we all love, and it's cool. Like, golly, what is it? Lex, and of course, Black Manta go after Aquaman. Tornado gets somehow torn up in that. Grodd uses a psychic attack on Martian Manhunter because Martian Manhunter is trying to save Aquaman. So there's stuff going on there. Oh boy. Shazam. He figures out, he saves Superman. He does something. I can't remember. They end up in the Batcave, and he finds out that Superman and Batman have like a bug implanted in them. So Shazam plays a very big part in this book, like being a hero, and man, he took out, like, whenever he saved Superman, whatever, he took out a bunch of people. You remember Brainiac? Well, Brainiac was holding Aquaman. That was weird. Did he destroy all of that? Is that who it was? Shazam that did that? But anyway, like I said, I really don't want to give away too much, but pick up the Justice books. I got them in hardback whenever they first came out, and they were released in that medium, and I love them. I've read them through, 3-4 times in my life, and the artwork, the painting, the way that Ross does, he's just the best. He's just the best. I can't say much else about it, man. I love everything the guy does. He's just brilliant. Some of my tattoos that I have of the Justice League and DC characters, they're from they're Alex Ross artwork, man, because I love his artwork. So pick up Justice. great book. If you're into the classics, it's just so good. Like I said, man, I don't hear it talked about like I hear Kingdom Come talked about, but I'm telling you, I picked Justice over Kingdom Come, man. Pick it up. So I'm going to move on now to T's Toys, and let me tell you, I've had a few floaters come in, and I'm just going to give a little honorable mention since I've covered Megas like 2 or 3 times on here, or 3 times, I guess. At least last week it was at least the vans and stuff. I didn't get too much into the figures, but I did have a Jaina and a Gleek come in. They're Megas. Love them. I had to get a Dr. Fate. Felt like I needed a JSA'er and a good high powered magic user. It's a little different than Shazam. I wanted Fate. If I had Zatanna, man, I'd pick her up. And actually, I saw somebody had a custom one on there. It was like, I don't know, man. It was like $80 or something. But it looked good. Whoever did it, man. Hats off to you, man. It looked great. But I can't throw down $80 on a black canary figure. I could probably make one, I guess. Anyway, so and I got Supergirl. Let me tell you about that Supergirl. Oh, and I got the Harlequin and the Catwoman Amigos that somebody made custom. And you know what? I need to figure out and just give a shout out, although they're never going to see this. Whoever made those, dude, girl, whoever made them, those things are so awesome. That Harlequin is so awesome. But let me tell you what I did. So I picked up the Supergirl Amiga, and she came with these weird like slippers. Like they didn't even have like a back, they didn't have like a thing that would go around like your heel or anything. Like they were literally like a slipper. So I didn't like that, so I got on there and I got me some reproduction red Superman boots, right? I mean, why wouldn't I do that? And so I slid those puppies onto my Supergirl Amiga figure. And looks right, she wears red boots or whatever, or, anyway. So I fixed her the way she should look, and I took those slippers off, and then, because what they used on that custom Harley, they used Robin's slippers, and it only came with one, and it was a red one. So what I did is, it was 2 red ones, and I might paint it black, I might not, I don't know. I'm just glad to have them, but I took those little weird red slippers off of Supergirl and put those 2 slippers onto the Harlequin doll, and they look great. And like I said, so I've got an extra Robin slipper, I guess, if I ever lose one for my Robin figure. But anyway, I'm so obsessed with those Amigas. Can you tell? I'm so obsessed with them. I love them. That Zan and Jaina, the freaking Wonder Twins. I mean, I'm obsessed with them. I love them. I love them. So there's a little catch up on my Amiga saga that's going on in my head right now, or whatever is going on. So anyway, so what I do want to kind of cover in these stories, I can do whatever I want and I can cover however I want, and I might get down to some singles and stuff, but just an overall. Whenever DC started doing the first DC Direct toys. And I hope I'm right on this. I guess it wasn't in the late 90s, early 2000s, whenever some of the first ones came out, which were, I don't know, was it like Liberty and some of them? And like the Uncle Sam, and was it the superhero Lois one in that? I don't know if those were the first ones or not, but I know I first started getting them. I mean, I got like a Dr. Fate. They were just, and they're still DC Direct, of course, from those very first lines, which honestly are, whenever I look at them, I've got, I mean, I don't guess I have every one they put out back then, but from the very first through, I don't know how many rounds of them that I do have, but they still look good. Like my Mr. Terrific, I mean, you can't beat that, the way it looks. I mean, some of those you can't beat the way they look. Like, even some of the reproductions don't look as good as those first DC Direct figures. So I don't know, I might cover some singly here and there, just to spread out some and show you some of the toys from that and some of the figures. But DC Direct, man, they do so good. What they put out, and in some of the packaging that they put out on things, on comics, adding like masks or this or that. Just cool, man. DC does all that right. And, Marvel does some cool stuff too. I don't mean to, But you know me, man. I'm in the bag for DC. I mean, I'm a DC mark all the way. But I love a lot of the packaging, and of course, I love them doing the trade paperbacks. That helped me read more comics, being able to get that full story. Used to drive me crazy to have to wait for these comics, and sometimes they wasn't put out on time. It got on my last nerve. So whenever they started doing paperbacks, and I could get full arcs and all that in one book, oh boy! I mean, you don't understand. I've got probably first run paperbacks going back to, well, I mean, like I said, some of the first ones that they put out. I guess the early '90s or whatever. I've got all the first runs, but anyway, just want to give a shout out to this DC Direct overall. And like I said, maybe I'll uh, cover some things here or there. I still pick up DC Direct figures. I've got a Stargirl that I love. Anyway, and speaking of Stargirl, looking forward to her on the DC app on the TV universe there. Just give a shout out. Why it's on my mind. But I think on this week we're going to go to Titus Titan, my game expert, and he is going to show us a little bit about the Injustice 2 fighting game. We had Injustice 1 and we loved it, and it was really fun. It wasn't, I don't know why we didn't really replay it like we have Injustice 2, but my mom, his mamaw, we were at Walmart and she was looking for the kids something or whatever, and they had it on sale for like maybe $20 or $15, whatever it was. I said, pick it up. I said, you can't find nothing for him. I said, we'll see. Hopefully it's good. And I'm not big on fighting games like that anyway. It's not really my thing. And let me tell you, one time this winter, we finally put it in. It was probably in January. I can't remember if it snowed or it was just cold, whatever was going on. And we popped that puppy in, and my nephew Tanner was here. And we passed around that controller all day. I mean, we killed, I don't know how many hours, 8, 10 hours playing that game. We beat it. I don't know. Did we beat it that day? I think we did. If we didn't beat it that day, we beat it the next day in the morning. We were close. I can't remember. But we had so much fun playing that game, and me and Titus has replayed that game over and over whenever we take a notion to do it. And he's been playing it a lot tonight. I guess getting fired up to film his spot here. So I'm going to kick it over to Titus Titan, and we'll watch him play a little bit of Injustice 2 and let y'all take a little peek at it. So tossing it to you, Ty. Go for it.
Thank you, Doomsday T. Welcome to Titus's Titans Game Review. Today we're going to talk about Injustice 2.
What are some of your favorite things about Injustice 2?
The story mode is really cool. You get to see all the areas, you get to unlock them, you get to unlock all the area, the skins, and I know one with Black Man. With Black Manta, you have the shark attack. You would have, here's the combos of Black Manta: shark attack, harpoon, the cannon.
Was that his special, like his main special?
His combos.
Like the fatality.
His combos. Like
what's
left, right, X,
okay.
Up, down, X, and stuff.
What's his, like, the fatality thing? You know what I mean? Or the special move? What's his?
R2 and L2.
Yeah.
That's how you do his special move, and you get all the bars.
But what is it? Like, what is his special move?
His special move is you hit the person across the room, you harpoon him back, you harpoon him in the chest and pull him back, and then you laser him while he's coming back.
Okay. And what did you like about story mode?
It would come with like people. It would come with like you you would get to see
It would make you use different characters during, like you didn't just use
like,
one person.
if
Like,
you,
oh, I'm
like,
going to pick Batman.
If you like have two people, it would choose. It would say, "Do you want to choose
Aquaman or Black Adam?
yeah, Aquaman and Black Adam?"
Right.
Or there's one part in the story where you get to use Catwoman, no, Black Canary or Green Arrow against Gorilla Grodd. So I picked Green Arrow.
And there's parts where you have to pick either like Harlequin, or whatever. And it's right. It's got the Mortal Kombat people in it. It's got some of those guys
Scorpion,
and girls.
you got the Ice Scorpion, and then you got Raven.
Okay.
And Raven's special move is the Dragon in Mortal Kombat. You push. Here's Raven's move. You lightning. You go up to the moon. You put the circle in the dragon. He uses his lightning to make a circle in the dragon in the middle on the moon, and then the dragon comes back down and just chopping him while he's coming down to the room, and then whenever you're done battling, they would have these like little cutscenes of like their like ending move, and like Raven's was like the dragon. He made the lightning dragon come at you. You could see his mouth, and
Okay.
I would say it comes with. I would say about the game that it would come with like people. Like if you hit like L1, it would do like a little knockdown.
It's kind of a little minor special
them,
that's special to that person.
You like.
Yeah, it's a grab.
It's
right.
a grab, and like for jokers, you can grab them. You put TNT on them, explodes, and then you shoot them, and then he shoots them
with his gun.
With his
Right.
gun.
Yeah, those are always cool. I like those too. Those little minor kind of special moves. They're fun.
those L1s.
And you can like sometimes throw people against things in the room you're
if you're
in.
close to like a table, you could throw it at somebody, or
you throw them against things in the background.
yeah.
I always thought that was cool. And like I love all the different areas that they have on the game.
They have Arkham Asylum, and you can see it. Like you guys can't see it, but I'm looking at it.
You're right. Another thing is you can hit some people hard. You can hit them so hard that you will go to another area within that room,
Yeah,
or like.
no.
Go
Like
ahead.
you can hit R1 against the if you. Sorry.
Start all over. Go ahead. You can hit R1.
You
Start all
can hit
over.
R1 next to this. If you get this guy, if you get your enemy next to a corner, you can hit R1 maybe, and then you can break. Like one time, like I was playing this, and I was Robin against Batman, and Batman knocked me into a grave thing, and then it made me go into this hell, like this world.
Right.
And like,
Speaking of hell, it has Hellboy on it, which is interesting.
yeah, we have not played as him.
You're right.
And I think they did update him because he does have his jacket.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Did we have him before?
I don't think
I don't
so.
remember us having Hellboy because we went through and did all the specials for all the characters that were on the game, which is a ton, which I love. But anyway, why don't you get on the game and let's show people some of the special moves and just some of the gameplay on the game. Do you want to do that there, Titus Titan?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, let's do it.
Thanks for watching Titus Titan's game review. we'll send it back to Doomsday T in the studios. Goodbye.
All right, thank you, Titus, and welcome back to Doomsday T on DC. And that'll wrap up this episode, and we appreciate Titus always giving us a fun little review on the games. And I hope you all enjoyed this episode as much as I did doing it. Like I said, I can talk DC Comics all day. All this show does is it gets me off of my friends' ears, me talking this DC crap. They hear me talk over and over, repeating myself a million times about how we don't have the right Luthor on the TV or on the movie screen yet, and how we need that. Luthor is so important. And anyway, I go off on all kinds of stuff, and anyway, they're probably sick of hearing it. So I'm sure they tune out. So anyway, thanks for watching Doomsday T on DC, and we'll be coming at you next week with another episode. And be good or be good at it, and see you later.